Hello, guys. This is DJ E360 Word. This is my first podcast ever, and I will be talking about events happening in the hip hop world, and I will try not to be too political or get involved with too much of a politics. But as you all know, you cannot talk about hip hop, like the actual hip hop, without talking about police brutality and injustice in the hip hop community and against the African American in the United States. So the first thing I'll talk about today it has to do with Ice Cube, right? He made a post about um incarceration and black men being incarcerated in the United States, and I think it's kind of related to what's going on right now in the U.S. The current unrest in the United States because George Floyd situation is supposed to be just like a standard police stop and arrest, right? And he's just gonna be another black man that's gonna be added to the statistic of many black men being incarcerated every year in the United States. But as we all know right now, the whole situation turned out to be fatal, right? The whole situation turned out to be a murder case right now, and the police officers now is being charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, and that can take up to 25 years in jail, right? So in Minnesota. So he's according to his post, I'll read it to you guys. So he said, some get to reach for the stars while others have to reach for the bars, right? So again, he's talking about the rate of incarceration in the United States. At the same time, the rate of economic disparity, where some people are favored, and especially the African American community are not that favored. But I'm not saying many black people or African American in jail right now don't deserve to be there, but the system, as everybody is know it right now, is not fair to everybody. So, um, that's the post he made. I think he has a valid point, and as you all know, he came from the group NWA, and on top of that, you have the group Public Enemy, and those two groups have been very adamant when it comes to justice and police brutality in the black community. So, and for that, I think I went further by grabbing an article from the NAACP that is talking about the racial disparity when it comes to incarceration and all of that. So let's get to what it's talking about. According to the article, the incarceration trends in America, right, between the 80s and in 2015, the number of people incarcerated in America increased from roughly 500,000 to over 2.2 million. Damn. Today, the United States makes up about 5% of the world population and has 21% of the world prisoners. Whoa. One in every 37 adult in the United States, or 2.7 of the adult population, is under some form of correctional supervision. Wow. So the most interesting part of the article has to do with the racial disparity when it comes to the incarceration, right? So in 2014, the African American constituted 2.3 million, or 34% of the total 6.8 million correctional population. Wow, that's a lot of black men in jail. No, the wonder why we have single family parents hold, because most of them are in jail. Who's gonna raise the next generation anyway if all the black men are being incarcerated, right? And the cycle continue, right? So African American are incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of white. So yeah, that makes sense. When you live in a community where the opportunity for better education and the opportunity for jobs are not present, what are you gonna do? Commit crime, right? And then what are you gonna do? You go to jail, you cannot vote, your rights are taken away from you. So the cycle continue, right? So nationwide, African American children represent 32% of children who are arrested. That's a lot of children being arrested, right? 42% of children who are detained, and 52% of children whose cases are judicially waived to criminal court. Wow. So though African American and Hispanic make up approximately 30% of the U.S. population, they comprise 56% of all incarcerated people in 2015. So if African American and Hispanic were incarcerated at the same rate as white, prison and jail population would decline by almost 40%. So as you guys can see, um, the situation, the unrest we are going through right now, it has a deep root as far as the justice system, right? It's not a matter of one police officer making a crucial mistake by taking the life of a black man. The whole situation has a very deep root as far as the racial tension in the United States. So again, this is my first podcast. I'm not gonna make it too long. I just want to talk about what's going on right now in the United States related to the hip hop community, how some of the OGs, the original gangsters, as some people might say it, are talking about, have been talking about the same situation for more than two decades, right? And nobody, people really didn't. I mean, people care about it, but people outside of the African American community didn't never taken it seriously. As far as now, we have recording devices, we have phones, we have people recording every single time. So the truth is finally coming out, and hopefully, they the justice system adjust itself enough to make the racial disparity and the justice system fair enough for everybody. Again, this is DJ E360. This is my first podcast, and I'll be coming for more podcasts. So subscribe to the channel, DJ E360 World. My Instagram is DJ E360 World. Until then, we out.